Good evening, task force members. I'm Cheryl Martone from Westbrook, Connecticut, and I have become a court watcher and an advocate for other parents because what has been done to me. My child had a great life before DCF, and the GAL worked in collusion with the judge in Middletown and ruined his life. He was in many wholesome activities with me as a loving, nurturing parent. Thank you. I want my battery to run out. I have to read from here because I'm tired. Been here all day. Wholesome activities would be as a loving, nurturing parent to guide and direct his upbringing. This is a story I wanted to tell you about a GAL who is now sitting in this chair, co-chair Sue Cousino seat, co-chair seat Sue Cousino, and I can't believe what I see. I want you to know this is my child. You got kidnapped because you did not listen to me, and the lawyers I hired did not do their job. A GAL who affected my child. Father was never around, and with no due process, where it should have been with the sharks in the court. I had to fight to get into a case conference in a back conference room where they had a sign on the door, and you know about it. Welcome to the piranha tank. That was a sign on the door when I walked in. The nightmare GAL was Sue Cousino, and she was not helpful in the case DCF brought against me because I was homeschooling him. I wish you would resign from the task force as you are not fit to be there. Just like you try to say I was not fit for my child to be in my life. I was fit for my child to be in my life, and because of you ruined so many children's lives, that I don't think that you're fit to be on this task force. You made up things in collusion with DCF to keep my child from me and his family, my child of which had every right. I had every right to homeschool him, and legally and constitutionally to do so. The GALs work the system even if it's not in the best interest of the child. And I have seen the GALs in the courts, as in my case, fabricate, perjure, and fix cases the way they want them to go. My child was kidnapped by DCF with the aid of this GAL, making up things about me, the mother. I knew my child was not safe. They shoved him into a safe home, which was not safe, because they put him in here with criminal children who were drugging and hiding drugs. And he certainly told me about it after we got him out of there. My child and I are witness and are actual victims of your abuse. I just want to bring up some points here. This is the group I started, U.S. Concerned Parents. And I'm writing a book about DCF. This is somebody who wrote a book, Out of Control, CPS, about CPS, and my book's going to be called CPS Crisis because of the atrocities that were done to me, and I see all the parents that I interview that had things done to them in these courts. And then when I try to bring my case into family court, because they put my son with his father, who was deadbeat father, an alcoholic, 2 criminal convictions, and I tried to get my son out of that situation too. It was tainted already because of all the false reporting about me.
Ms. Martone, can you
I just want to
jump to a summary, please?
Points that this task force needs to look into GAL interference when a child says what he wants. The GAL does not listen. Forced appointment by change to make money off the backs of our children is wrong. If we hire a GAL when one is needed, then we should pay. If the judge appoints one, then the state should pay. Why should we pay for somebody who is appointed by the judges? Make changes to the court the way that they do business. The horror, lies, games the state plays against agents play with you to try to control your every move. My son said about the GAL, her job isn't to respect people, so he thinks. As he thinks, and they made him think and about what he wants to do.
Could you wrap it up, please?
I just want to say this, that my son said he's 18 now, and he's out of the woods because of, he doesn't have to be abused by anybody anymore. And I certainly would never, ever do anything wrong to my son, and I never did anything wrong to my son, but it was just a power play. My son was 18. He said if a person forms their own opinion, they should not have a second mouth, a GAL, speak for them. If they're able to speak for them and for themselves and let them know what they want with their life and who they want to be with. And they should have both parents in their life. Okay? That's all I'm going to say for
Okay,
now.
great, thank you. Are there
Thank
any
you very
questions?
Hearing no questions, we'll...
I do.
Oh, Mr. Weissman.
I know your experience in the system was very long, and the laws have probably...
5 years.
How many?
5 years.
5 years.
Mhm.
Okay. You didn't include any commentary on shared parenting. I'm wondering what your view is on that.
I think that both parents should be in a child's life as long as they're fit parents. A child has the right to... the court should listen to children, too. They shouldn't ignore a child. They're not an object. They're not a piece of furniture. They're not a commodity that you make money off of. They're they're a human being that has rights. And that's what I fight for, children's rights and parents' rights. And the right of the child to stay with their loving, nurturing parents. My son had no benefit by having a GAL in his life, none whatsoever, because it cut his life off. He had all wholesome activities. He did a lot of things with me, and I did a lot of things for his life to help benefit and promote his life. But that all ended 5 years ago. So, need y'all to do something about GALs and people interfering in children's lives and their relationship and their bond with their mother and father. That needs to stop immediately. And I
Other
hope
questions?
this task force can do something about
Yeah,
that.
I have a question. Can you tell me what you were charged by the GAL?
Charged? What do you mean by charged?
The fee, did you have to pay a fee for the guardian?
No,
ad litem?
because I was in DCF court, but when I brought it into family court, my child had an AMC, and because of all the atrocities that were caused to me, my mother was dying at the time. The courts didn't listen. The DCF didn't listen. He still, even though I was indigent, he still gave me a bill of $400 that I'm still not able to pay for like a couple of years now. But even though a parent's indigent and is not unable to pay, they still throw a bill at you like, oh, you got to pay something. That doesn't
Thank you.
seem too kosher.
Well, sometimes if you ask for a lawyer to be appointed, I don't know if you were here earlier when Justine Rakish-Kelly testified from the Children's Law Center, sometimes you can ask based on your financial affidavit to get a lawyer appointed from her agency or somebody on the list that will take state rates paid by the state.
Well, basically, my son did not need a GAL or an AMC. My son, I brought it into family court, my case, because he ran away from his father because his father wasn't treating him properly. So, these are the kind of things that this state needs to look into because, children's lives, they need to be a kid. They need to have a normal life. And if one parent can't provide that, then they need to let the child live with the parent that they feel comfortable with, or have both parents in their life that they feel comfortable with, not extract them because, the mother says, you can't be, I'm jealous or I'm this, I'm that of the father, or that the father says that about the mother. The child they need to grow up and be adults and have conversations like adults
Any other
if
questions?
they have a child in their life.
Do you think it's a possibility that sometimes parents can kind of think a GAL is doing something or thinking something or repeating something that may not actually be the case, and they may be advocating for some of the parents, and sometimes people are too caught up and they just can't see that. Because, I mean, I know that there are some GALs that I've spoken to that have tried to help parents, and they're viewed as not trying to help them. So I'm just saying that, do you think, I mean, because I know we've been here all day hearing all the bad stuff, but I do believe that there is a lot of good, and particularly in your case, I have heard discussions that, you know, maybe some of what you're thinking or may not be the case, and I just want to say, put that out there, that sometimes things may not be what you or some other people may think it is, that's all. Do you think that's a possibility?
If there's argument between parents, then there should be a family counselor involved. You don't need a GAL to speak for a child. If the child's happy with being with both parents, why make them upset? Why disrupt their life? They should be with, you know, try to keep the child happy. Happy childhood leads into a happy adulthood. So,
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Martone.
thank you.